So Hunter, what's the secret sauce behind your early season success? You've really fit in well there with the Pats.
Oh man, lots of repetition, lots of practice, lots of getting a lot of reps, building that chemistry, learning the offense, kind of getting dialed in, and just being able to make plays when my number's called.
So why are you such a threat in the red zone, leading tight end, touchdown getter at the moment? What makes you so difficult to deal with?
Size always helps, being big. I feel like I'm detailed in my routes too. I'm good at knowing when the ball kind of needs to come out, and being on time with my routes. That's always kind of a big thing. And then just building trust. I think always as a quarterback you want to have trust. So hopefully I think I know that Mac trusts me in those situations to make plays, and that's another big thing.
Do you feel like anyone can guard you in the red zone?
I don't feel like anybody can guard me ever. So you got to have that mindset always.
There you go. I like that. So obviously you got a little bit of swag about you, Hunter. I'm interested to know you've spent a lot of time around Bill Belichick even before you came to the Pats. Does he have a little bit of swag about him that we don't know about on the outside?
Oh, of course. I mean, you don't become the greatest coach of all time really in this sport without having a little bit of swag, a little bit of chip about him. But it's probably portrayed in a different way than a lot of other people would say swag is portrayed. He just kind of has that quiet confidence that he knows who he is, and is very confident in that.
Can you give us an example of something that would lend itself to that?
I don't know if there's a specific example. I think it's just the daily deposits of like his consistency and who he is, and never wavering from work and putting that work in and kind of displaying that leadership every day. I think it's the consistency every single day that he brings to work every day.
For sure. So for a little bit of context, you've known him growing up, obviously through your high school football coach, and scouted you before the combine. And obviously now he's brought you into New England. What's been the most surprising thing about working with him or being around him more consistently?
I mean, he's just he's a football genius, man. And it's cool to be around someone that just loves football so much and has seen so much football, especially at the highest level, and winning Super Bowls too. So he knows how to get things done, and knows how to put his players in the best position, knows how to motivate them in the best way. So it's been really cool to just see the standard and that he holds everybody to, and how he gets the best out of everybody.
So what's been different coming from LA? I mean, obviously we've touched on the weather's different, but in terms of that culture, everyone talks about the Patriot way. You've come from a different system in San Diego and Los Angeles. What's been some of the main differences that you've seen? Has there been anything that startled you a little bit?
I think it's just like the team atmosphere, the do your job atmosphere, everybody has their role and you do your role. And I would say that's similar around the league, but here it's just very preached. It's preached, every single day to do your job, trust the guys around you, and, believe in kind of the team and everything that this team means. That everybody's basically one body, and we need all the parts of the body to come together to execute what we do on Sundays.
Yeah, and that's cool. And we speak about, your body there, Hunter, and I'm going to take this in a little different direction, but your body here on earth is to serve a greater purpose a little bit, isn't it? I mean, I look at something that you relate to, John 3:30, he must become greater, I must become less. Talk to me about what that specific quote means to you, and just branch off generally from there if you like.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you said. It's I'm here and I'm playing football, but I'm more than a football player, man. There's so much more to me than what I am. And the main thing that I am is, I'm God's son, and I'm a believer in a hope that Jesus came and died on the cross for our sins, and I have a lot of faith that of who God is and who he is in my life. And I think that's just a quote too, that I carry with me on a daily, just daily without football. And it's just a simple verse that means so much, that, can mean so much too, even in a football realm too, even on a team realm. I think there's so many applications, just a simple quote like that, to be humbled, before God, to be humble before your teammates, to be humble before just everybody, that you're not bigger than anybody, that he needs to be kind of the light, before everything. And, it applies to everything in my life. But so I think that's where faith kind of carries into your life, is just applying those things into a daily basis.
So does your faith help you, Hunter, when you're stressed about football, the difficulties of football, or perhaps other parts of your life rear their head? Are you able just to rely on that faith, and that can help you, I guess, calm those other difficulties?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a solid rock. It never wavers. For me, it, is always consistent. Football is a daily, up and down, ups and downs. And even my football career has been ups and downs, injuries and had the game taken away. But, God never wavers. He's always present. He's always the same. He's the same God that I, met when I was a young kid, to the same God that I'm, have a daily relationship with now. So it definitely is a blessing to have that in my life, because it just is never wavering. And it's very comforting to be able to have that, when sometimes my life can just be such a roller coaster.
Yeah, amen to that. I couldn't agree more. What's your why, Hunter?
My why? My why here, I think, is to serve a bigger purpose. I think I like to worship God through my play. And hopefully I show a light in some aspect of my play, and how I live my life. And then, my family's big for me. My wife, and we're actually expecting our first kid this next month. So those two right there are kind of my biggest why, and why I wake up every day. My wife motivates me more than, anybody in this world, just how hardworking and independent and just gracious and everything that she is in my life. She's definitely one of my biggest whys. And then I have my little son coming next month, so I know once I lay eyes on him, that'll probably be right there with her.
Yeah, congratulations, man. I'm sure that's going to be brilliant. And you think God's loving those touchdowns at the moment?
I hope so, man. I'm doing my best out there for him. So I think he would definitely be proud. But hey, the thing is with him, he's going to be proud with whatever you do. So scoring touchdowns, no touchdowns, like we talked about, man, it's unwavering. It never changes.
For sure. And so, what do you enjoy outside of football, Hunter?
Man, I lived in California for 5 years, so I became kind of a beach guy, man. I love the beach, love being by the water, and honestly, it's just being with family, being with friends, and I don't do too much. When I'm home, I like to hunt,
Okay.
so I like to get out there and hunt a little bit. We go duck hunting, deer hunting, anything I can do. Try to get out in the outdoors. So there's a few things, but it's usually, if anything, it's usually trying to be outdoors in some aspect.
So what's the hardest animal to catch?
Hardest animal. I mean, ducks fly. So, I mean, you got to shoot it out of the air, I mean, that can be tough, I guess. If you're bow hunting a deer, I mean, that can be tough in a sense too. So there's always different skills that go hand in hand. Deer hunting is hard for me to do because it's always during the season. So I haven't done deer hunting in a long time, but I always get a glimpse of duck hunting right after football season usually.
Okay. Well, that sounds good to me. What would you say the most interesting thing about Mac Jones is to you, Hunter? Obviously, your neighbor's with him as well, so maybe there's something a little bit there as well.
Everybody knows that, huh? Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Man, the most interesting thing, just how focused he is. He's always locked in, man. He really is. He really cares about football a lot and really wants to be great. And it's really cool to see, especially him being so young, the strive for success that he wants for his career and just for this team. So I think just the focus and him being locked in, I think that's one of the biggest things that stands out to me.
So how is that for you, Hunter? You signed with the Patriots and Cam's the quarterback. Did you spend much time with Cam? What was that like then seeing him go out the building and your first, I guess, thoughts about Mac when you saw him? Can you unpack that for us a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think it was a lot, but at the same time, you kind of saw the daily deposits he put in and, we were fired up for him. I mean, we felt like he definitely competed well throughout camp. It was fun to be with Cam throughout the off season. And then, in camp, it was a lot of fun to be with a guy like that with a lot of energy and someone that has a ton of success throughout his career. So it was definitely special to be with him. But once Mac was named the starter, I think everybody was on board, man. We were fired up. I think we just, dove right into it. I don't think we thought anything of it after that. Obviously, it was probably crazy for him that day, but after that, we just kind of got to work and got after it.
So what is Cam like away from the cameras? I imagine he still has that exuberance, but he can be often quite misunderstood, particularly in the media. What would you have to say about Cam and perhaps what he's like away from the spotlight?
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, all the energy that you see on the field is who he is all the time. I mean, he's just a positive guy, fun to be around, brings a lot of energy at all times. So he was fun to have around in the locker room and a fun guy to kind of be around.
For sure. Now, Hunter, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? I know I'm hitting you with some thoughtful ones, but even if you need to take a sec, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Honestly, it's probably just a simple one. Or there's probably two. My dad taught me basically when I was young, I mean, just to never quit. And he used to always say, Henry's never quit. So that, I mean, I think that's just a simple thing, but like anything that you start, you got to finish it. And just to never quit, never give up. A second thing was a coach taught me a quote that was hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. And I think a lot of more people have seen that quote nowadays, but it's always resonated with me. For a while there when I was younger, I mean, I wasn't always the biggest. And I mean, guys started catching up to me and all this stuff. And I think that quote resonated with me and helps me kind of wake up every day and realize kind of the work I needed to put in to maybe bridge that gap between other people.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And now, do you have a couple of minutes for a quick word association game?
Sure. What is that?
All right. So essentially what I'm going to do, just going to throw it's chill. I'll throw a couple of names like teammates or ex-teammates at you, and you just give me one word to describe them, like the first word that comes to your mind. And then if you've got like a little story that you want to share about them that pops into your head, you can do that.
Let's do it.
You're more relaxed about that now. You seem a little stressed. You're like,
I didn't know. I didn't know what you were doing, man. I didn't know. No, that's throw something crazy at me.
No, that's cool, man. We'll keep it chill for now. So, all right, Hunter, let's start with this word association game. Mac Jones.
Stud.
We're
just doing one word?
Yeah, you can do one word, and then if you want to tell a story, you can. But if not, you can just leave and we can move on.
Cam.
Yeah, Cam.
Say leader.
Okay, why?
The energy he brings. I mean, you feel his presence every time he steps into a room. And I would just say people are drawn to him. So I would say leader.
Bill Belichick.
Go.
That's simple. Justin Herbert.
Beast.
He's born.
He's a stud. I mean, a lot of fun to be around. Smart. Dude's got an incredible career ahead of him for sure.
you're mates with him off the field, right? So what would surprise us about Justin Herbert?
Surprise you. I mean, I think people can kind of see it, but he's just kind of a quiet, laid back dude. Like he's not really into kind of being Justin Herbert, I would say, like being this big time quarterback or anything like that. He's just like a very laid back, very quiet dude.
Mm-hmm, for sure. All right. And final one on this, Phil Rivers.
Oh, man. Hall of Famer.
Okay. Yeah, you think so?
I think so. People can debate with me all they want, but I think he's a Hall of Famer.
What did you see in him, being around him every day, that makes you feel that way?
He made football easy. He made my job a lot easier, made the whole offensive guys' job a lot easier. Super smart, and then obviously had incredible talent of his arm and just arm talent. And you put both those things together, and it was a lot of fun to be around.
For sure. All right. So we're done with that word association game. Passed with flying colors, Hunter Henry. Thank you for that, my man.
No problem.
All right. If I can finish with one or two final questions, Hunter. I know you've said before you're a perfectionist, right? So how do you balance those high expectations with not being then too hard on yourself? Like I know personally, even for me, that's such a tightrope to walk. How is it for you?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough question to ask. I think you got to give yourself grace sometimes, man, and realize like you aren't going to be perfect. Obviously you're striving to be in everything that you can. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. But at the same time, you kind of have to just give yourself grace. We all just need grace in our life because you're going to mess up and, you're going to do some dumb things, even just in life, but even like in football, man, like I'm going to mess something up probably every day in some aspects. But the biggest thing is from those mistakes, I think you got to learn from them and grow from them and be able to not make those mistakes again. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing. I think is just learning and growing from those things and not being too hard on yourself.
Damn, that's good. I might need to take some notes on that. That was brilliant.
Trying.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, last one from me, Hunter. The Pats, you guys are rolling at the moment. Everyone's talking about obviously potentially ending up in LA, facing Tom again. I'm not going to ask you about that specifically, but what's been the main turning point for you guys in the building, and is there any limit on what you guys can achieve this year?
I think it's just the work we've been putting in, just having a, back against the wall mindset and trying to climb. We didn't start the season out like we wanted to, but I think we just kept going to work, kept getting closer as a team. We had a lot of new guys around here, and it's just that work is beginning to pay off. And we're going to continue to go to work every single day, and that's what it's all about. It's take it week by week, put the work in, and try to go out there and play your best ball on Sundays.
Appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much for joining me, Hunter. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, big dog. See you, man. All right, mate.